Alrighty, welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm Dragon Archon, and we're playing Satisfactory today. I think this is episode 3 officially, so that'll be good. But yeah, so it'll be fun. I've been enjoying doing these every week. Last week I tried streaming it. This week I think I'm just going back to recording. I kind of enjoy just recording, and I don't think streaming's working out for it. Gonna work out for it right now. But I think just doing the recordings, getting you guys a good look at how I'm building and how everything's going, kind of where we're gonna go with for right now. Yeah. Since our last one, I did do a couple of things, as you may have noticed. Base got a little bit bigger. Mostly I went around and I just kind of finished the coloring since we picked a color scheme in the last episode. Kind of going with this blue and dark gray color, kind of the same colors as my channel. But the hope with this right now, it doesn't really have like a lot of design technique going in because this base probably won't last forever. It's just kind of producing our main stuff. I added a second floor, which now produces copper and all that stuff for us. So that'll be nice. So we can kind of go walk up there real quick. And I kind of separated it out so I could put other stuff, but we can climb up here. So we got wire, cable, and copper plate all being made. Copper plate's going to be really important for our steps today. So I wanted to make sure this was up and running before we came in. And we're just kind of been letting it collect. Mike's kind of in a weird spot today. I don't know what's going on with it, but I keep bumping into it. Let's see here. So, with that, what we're kind of looking at doing today, what I'm hoping to actually accomplish on for you guys and for episode 3 is coal power. And coal power is going to be really important going forward. Right now we're on biofuel. And biofuel is good, but it doesn't produce a lot of energy per device, per machine. And I kind of have to keep stopping to go feed it. So it's not infinite. And coal power is kind of the first infinite source that you guys will see in the game. Just means we just turn it on, and as long as we've set it up properly, it should just run and produce power, which is really nice, especially for me. Like, I like building factories, and then I kind of just let them run on my computer for a while. With our current setup, I have to come check on it every 30 minutes or so to make sure it has enough production for power, and that we can keep power going. So the hope is that with coal power, we'll be able to build a pretty good sturdy coal power setup, so that we don't have to keep coming back to it. We can just kind of have it set up, and we can work on factories and all sorts of other fun things and expansion. And coal powers is the first step toward it. Later down the road, we'll do fuel. Later than that, we'll do nuclear power. But coal's the first step. So we're gonna do that today. Try and get as much of it done today as we can, and at least get it functioning. So yeah. But with that, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more of my episodes. Don't forget to check out the playlist too. I've been putting these all into a playlist. Leaving comments, all that good stuff. All that helps the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll dive into it. I think we're going to kind of build it over here in this area. I'm going to pop up the camera view real quick for us. I'm saying right there. So over there are 4 normal coal nodes, and without using power shards, that can get us 240 between all 4 of them per minute, which is pretty decent. It's just up here on the top of the hill next to our base, so it's pretty close still. The big things we have to do is kind of make some decisions on how we want to set it up. I also don't know yet how many manufacturer or coal power plants we'll need. Can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 15 coal per minute or so is burned. So quick math on that. And we do, oops, not 14, 15. We can have 16 on that. And that's if I don't power shard it. Which I kind of might do just because we can handle 120 per line and just have 4 lines coming up, bringing all the coal up here. But I think I'm going to build the power station up here at the top of the hill. Bring the coal kind of in a wraparound over here and drop the water pumps down in the water here that we're going to need for it. Speaking of which, this might be a good time to introduce the power generators. So we'll just build one real quick. Ada will give her a little spiel.
Interesting, most pioneers already had coal power set up by this point because they understood their responsibility to humanity.
She's going to try and guilt
Adjusting
trip us into
pioneer
thinking we're
attitude
doing
methods.
terrible.
Reminder, coal-powered generators require coal.
Man, that's crazy. But yeah, so going into it. So we do consume 445 cubic meters of water a minute for these. But this is going to produce 75 megawatts. So if we do it just the way it is right now, we get 16 times 75. We're going to get 1200 megawatts. And currently, I think we have 300. So that would be pretty sick. And that's without doubling the output. Kind of do want to try doubling the output and just collecting a bunch of slugs and stuff for this. Because that'd be really cool. Be really neat. The other problem too is one of the coal nodes does have a rock on top of it, so I can't place a miner on. And so I can't get the full use out of all the coal here quite yet. So maybe I'm looking at more like 360. That's how the math works out. Yeah, because 3 nodes at 60 times 2 would then be, 360. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Which then with that many we can do, we'll do some quick math here. That's us 360 divided by 15. Means I can do 24 of those bad boys, so the fuel factories. 24 times 75, 1800. So if we can accomplish this, this is going to set us up for quite a while. Not forever, but for a good little while. We'll definitely get a couple of pretty big factories out of that, which will be really nice and not have to worry about it or think about it. So that is kind of where we're at with it. Since the last one, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I did go ahead and do the research for coal. I've also done a couple of the aesthetic stuff, the things with the tickets, so we've got a couple more materials available to us to use for this project. We also have like the wall-mounted outlets now, some doorways, and some architecture points, so the railings and road barriers and all that good stuff. So that should be helpful. Oh, and also all the conveyor belt support type stuff, which I like to get early on if I can. It just makes building the factories easier, and then I don't have to go through and rewire them all. So that's usually a little bit more ideal if I can manage that. So, and I also don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say there. Anyways, so yeah. So let's get started, I think. Trying to think of what I want to do first. I think we'll set up a basic platform first. I think that's a good place to start. And we will do that. So sit back and enjoy. I'm probably going to just fast forward through it, play you guys some music, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty, I am back finally. I think it has been almost 2 weeks since I started making this video, so that's kind of crazy, but I ended up a little bit busier. Didn't get through as much progress, but finally to a point where the coal factory is ready for powering on. So I wanted to bring you guys back in. I should have plenty, pretty sure I've got some good B-roll footage of sorts. Not really, but you know what I mean. Fast forwarding with some music is what we're probably going to do. I don't know why I'm explaining this. You already saw it all. Anyways, I'm just being stupid. Anyways, welcome to the coal factory. This is what we ended up with. I'm not done quite yet, but I need a more stable power source, and it's slowing me way down to have to keep going back and forth, powering the biofuel. So it is quite... It'd be quite nice to have the coal going so I don't have to keep going back and forth. I can just focus on finishing it up. So we'll jump back into the fast forwards to finish once we get coal, but I wanted to bring you guys back in and give you just a basic tour of where we're at, and then be ready to go on what we ended up doing. So yeah, let's go take a little walk around. So out here is going to be the main front entrance. We'll eventually build like a little ramp up here to park. Maybe eventually have a train station up here once we unlock trains. Over here is our biofuel processing for the coal power, which isn't required for coal power, but I like it. Especially if something goes wrong and the coal factory or the coal power plant shuts down. It's basically my emergency power supply to kick it back on. I have enough biofuel to power the water pumps that we need for the coal and also the coal miners. And I'll show you kind of my setup for that here in a second. But same setup as down below, just each bin, one's for leaves, wood. I think I actually put in alien parts as one too, and then just basic, I can never remember what the name is. Just the biomass, I think. I don't know. But anyways, so that's all out here. So that would be easy access. Just drop off, keep it filled so that the power is ready to go on. And as you can see, we kind of went with the gray and blue look. You can see the smokestacks over there. And we'll do an overview here in a second. So we'll walk on in. This is the main entranceway. This is going to be a big window once I unlock the windows. Which is part of it, is I also got to set up steel to get the windows I like. From up here, you can see the water pumps all right there. And then the hoses all come right up here. And then down over there, I think if I do camera footage and then zoom in, you can see it. There we go. You have all the chains and you can kind of see the miners over there. And this is going to be the conveyor belts that are going to bring in all the coal. I did choose to set it up right now. Oh yeah, and then some scaffolding. You can kind of see it from here too. That whole section over there is also going to be more coal generators eventually. What we have here, I think, is going to give us... Let me do the math real quick. Again, I'm sure I've done it already, but I can't remember off the top of my head. 75 times 16. We have 16 generators, so we're going to get 1,200 megawatts out of this. I think if I remember right, I have enough coal and water production here even, because I also won't be using all the water yet, for another bank of 8 of those. So that'll bring us up quite a bit more too. Admittedly, so like I was saying, we also did the math on how much the water pumps and the miners will take up. Then that's still like 360. So that's going to end up being closer to about 900 net gain on there. Because it's got to power its own supply chain, which unfortunately is going to take up about 300, 360-ish range. I can actually get that from over here. But this is just the behind the works for the solid biofuel production. And then over here is the actual generators. So I got to put that floor back in and finish up over there. Anyways, so then it feeds all into here. And when it's not being needed, so yeah, you can see the capacity here is 390. When it's not needed, it won't run any of these, so we can just fill them up with biofuel and basically have a backup supply for when we trigger it. And then for right now, until we get power switches, the way we're going to trigger is basically this nub connects all the generators. This nub connects all the water pumps. So when I draw these together, it will turn on the water pumps and everything else. And then once the cold power gets going, it will actually be self-sufficient here. And once it's self-sufficient, we'll connect this to this, which will connect the rest of the power grid to like the outside world, like our other factory over there. And that's when it will be powered. But we wanted to have this split, because when you have that split, if something does go wrong and we need to use the power generators to re-kick it, we need to be able to quick disconnect the rest of the power grid. So that's where that happens. So that's why I did that like that. I also let this phase through because then I have access to the solid biofuel in case I need some as well. Because I'm going to probably take apart the biofuel down below. And I would like to be able to get a supply of it for my chainsaw. So yeah, let's go ahead and walk over here real quick. All right, in here this is our water storage and all that stuff. And here's all of our power generators. Oh, and I've been alternating colors. I apparently forgot to color this one. But yeah, so all the generators get brought through. All be connected, and there is a backside here too, so that's where we're getting our 16 so far. And 8 of these run on one miner. So you saw there was 4 lines coming in. So actually, I guess I can do another 16. I think before I said I could put in another 8, but I can put in another 16. Biggest issue is there is one coal spot out there that I set up a line for, so I wouldn't have to set it up later, but has a big boulder on it. So we got to blow that up before we can do anything with that. But yeah, so this is kind of the edge. Eventually, I'm going to put like a little roof over this. Like I said, I'm just kind of needing to get the power on, and I want to bring you guys back in. And then the other bay will be, coal generators will be along here. This is kind of good view. You can get a better view of those pipes. And we'll also do like a little decoupled camera. So this is kind of what we're looking at right now. It's really good. This is also one of the first times, and probably pretty obvious, honestly, of me trying to do a more curved building to kind of match the landscape a little bit better. But I like how it turned out. I think it looks okay. So that will be like the main facility building. Like I said, that's the main entrance. Coal generators. We'll probably use this little arc here to store more water tanks, just like we did on the left side. So yeah. All right, let's go get this turned on, and then we'll jump back into building some more. Alrighty, so we just do that by doing this. And we'll connect. And we should see, so capacity is reading 465. Which is odd. Should have been the same as the other side. But anyways, and max consumption is 435. You should be running now. Yep. Alrighty. So that's cool. Cool. I probably need to go make some solid biofuel. Pump that in there in order to make sure. Materials for that? I do not. Okay, I'll be right back. All right. All right, we're loading up again. I made a whole bunch, and so it's just going. So we'll go ahead and try this again, shall we? All right, let's see here. Connect this to this. We'll make sure this is on. And we are going. Looks like we already have quite a bit, so just a little bit might have been enough to get a couple of them going. Okay. Okay. Check to see if we're getting water. We are. We are. We are. And we are. Excellent. That's a good sign. Not getting coal yet. Scoot over here. Here comes the coal. All right, so it's probably gonna be a few more minutes. But while we're out here too, we can kind of get a better view of what we did for the water and the pumping. Admittedly, I don't know if normally I would do this. It required a lot of pumps to get, especially the Mark 1s. Once you have Mark 2s, it's a lot easier to get up. They're a lot more efficient. So this is draining a lot of our power for that to just get the water up the cliffside. But it's kind of what we had to do for this certain situation, so. Let's see here. All right, we're getting close. All right, those are still flowing out. Let's get out here. You know what I just realized? I need to go hunt slugs. Except with it producing 120, and each of those miners are only going to produce 160. So unfortunately, even when this gets on, man, how unprofessional of me. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, it'll still turn on a little bit, and it'll still look nice. It just won't be quite as functional as it really ought to be. Let's go down below here real quick. There's the water. All right, here comes the coal. Yeah, so that should be completely full. That's... man. I didn't have the biofuel. I didn't have the slugs. Damn. Not doing good here. Alright. Let's get up there and see if they're even starting to kick on. I can see a couple of little smokestacks going now. Damn it. Oh my gosh. That's pretty messy. So what I think I will do is I'm gonna go turn this off. It'll stay powered for a little bit. I guess I could connect these. Although it's not really stabilizing, so I doubt this is gonna work, but I guess I could connect. Well. I don't think this is gonna stay operational. But hey, right now, well, I did that wrong. It should be. And this should have stopped burning. Perfect. So effectively, when it is functioning, this is how the normal standard would be set up. I can see everything. Our max consumption is 759. We already broke it because it's not stable at all. So we're gonna disconnect that again. And we are gonna go grab some slugs. Shoot, I can't believe I forgot those. Gosh dang it. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. We have power shards, so it's all set up now. So that's good. I probably could have just come down here with it powered, but I also wanted to cut you guys in so you guys can kind of see how that was all set up. So we got that set up, and then over here, I was telling you, I have this other miner, but I don't need it yet. That, and then this is the other one I was talking about earlier with the rock that needs to be blown up. So with that, we will head back up to the factory. So I'll get up there. And get back up here. There we go. All right, now we're ready. So we'll plug this back in like we did before. Make sure it's turned on. Start powering it. Perfect. We'll let it run for a second and be right back. Alrighty. Coal just started rolling into the things, and we can see all the power generators starting to kick on. So that's pretty exciting to see. Hopefully it will stabilize out here in a few. Let's see here. This is the one I'm worried about. Alright, come back here. Green, green. Let's see. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. We should have stabilized out by now, but this one keeps not having coal in it. Odd. With how jerky it's getting. I wonder if... like, those are getting way more. I must have set something up wrong. Low. Like, all the way shut off. Hopefully now we'll start seeing... there we go. Okay, so we are stabilizing out, which is a great time for me to go over and disable the jump start generators. And make sure it will run by itself and I didn't mess something up. Perfect. So yeah, now we're sitting at 1600. Perfect. And that's basically powering itself. And our current consumption's about 300. So yeah, I would estimate we just added 900. And we'll go ahead and connect these two. Repower. And we get our 1200 now. Max consumption is 700. We're using about 1400. So this will give me a 1320. Probably means a couple of the biofuels still have some. It'll level back out to 1200 once those burn through. But yeah. So there we go. So now we have effectively infinite power. Because the coal will keep flowing, the water will keep going. Everything is working, so that is indeed excellent. And we'll continue providing us power. So now our factory won't have to turn off every few minutes and I can leave it running. And work on other projects while it's still making me more parts and stuff. So this is a really good spot to be in. The 1200 is really good, especially since we'll get another 1200 once we build the other 16 or so that we can do, and we get explosives and all that good stuff. So, yep. From here on out, for the rest of the video, we'll finish up the rest of the building, and then we'll come back for a reveal. All right, see you guys then. All right, welcome back. So we finally have the coal factory, the power plant all put together. I think this is where it's going to sit for a little while. I didn't end up putting the coal generators over on that second little section that we were kind of talking about before when we powered everything on. Everything's still going strong. Power's still pretty good. But wanted to kind of give you guys a little introduction. But I'll probably keep upgrading it and adding things as we unlock things. Like I'd like to put some signs over here. But anyways, beside the point. So we have our lovely little tractor ramp here. Now we can drive up and park. Get out, unload stuff that we need here. I may end up putting like a little, one of these things. Where'd it go? Truck station over here. I don't particularly have a lot of leftover coal, but it would be nice to be able to refill the tractors here. All the same. Maybe with leftover extra stuff for the emergency generator. Now that everything's on, we won't need it as much. So all the excess can just be produced to the bin that I showed you. So yeah, then when we come in, I put in windows. And we have windows, nice and safe. We cleaned everything up out here. Note all the floating beams and stuff that we had going. Over here is all closed up nicely. Still working good. Oh yeah, let's head over to here. And like I said, that area is still empty. Everything's still running really good. Look at a nice even consistency of capacity 1200. So that's pretty good. We're going to take it. That's going to help us out for a little while. We build some other factories. And then I can always come in and add in the second bank. So yeah. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it looks really nicely. Looks like I forgot to put full edging things there, but that's okay. We'll get that fixed up. But yeah. So here's what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I think in a previous segment of this video, it's my first time doing like a curved building. I don't think I did the best on it, but at the same time, like for the first time, not too bad. I'm not gonna complain about it too much. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It looks really nice. I think we tidied it up nicely. But let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment. Hit that like button if you liked it. But yeah, this was kind of a longer video, unfortunately. For you guys, it'll probably be like 45 minutes or so. That's going to be my goal anyways, to cut it all down to 45. But for me, it took about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So I hope you guys like it. I hope it was worth it. Looks like everything's working pretty good. It's going to work out pretty good for us. Eventually, like I was saying too before, like once we unlock more stuff, I'll probably add little tweaks. Like I'd love to add some more architectural beams, but I just didn't have the tickets for it yet. Or the steel to do it. But yeah. Kind of add some little accent things going on. Make it look a little nicer. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you like it. Now we have infinite power, sort of. Kind of infinite. It at least won't run out and I don't have to go refill it, so that's exciting. We'll keep our factories going until we hit that cap. So, alright. Well, like I said, I think that's all for this video. We'll just do the coal power plant in this one. Definitely it's taken long enough, so I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and bye-bye.